Hi everyone, this is Muskan Gupta and welcome to my blog. So nowadays I'm having my psychiatry posting, and psychiatry as a subject is kind of very interesting if you kind of pay attention to it, because the way the case is present and how much chronicity is there in the brain and the trauma is related to the life and everything. It's very interesting if you put your thought to it, because recently our teacher shared a story of a patient. So I don't know the name and she even did not disclose because the privacy. So केस ये था कि एक औरत थी, उसकी उम्र 49 years थी. She came to the OPD and complained that she is having a depression and loss of appetite, decreased sleep since 1 month. So for this 1 month of history that she is giving, there's a reason which has started back, you can think like 30 years back in her life. Her story of life was kind of, you will see in movies, and the amount of trauma she has taken, and now the final phase of the trauma has taken a phase or pace of depression and loss of appetite, decreased sleep, apathy in the life, having no emotions, not being excited about anything in the life. Now I'll tell you the story. The story unfolds as when she was a 10 years old girl, her mother and father got divorced. Father got remarried to some other woman and her mother got married to some other man, and she went to Bombay. It's a name taking place, like, okay, she went to Bombay. After 4 years she comes back in her life again. But before that, she was living with her grandmother and with her one brother. Grandmother used to live with the family, and the family treated her as an orphan, and the disregard, the abuse, the trauma she got, the negligence that she got for the 4 years. Her mother comes back in her life, and now she's 14 years old. What her mother does is, like, she is putting her into a house with a man who is 23 years old, and she was 14 years old. And now you can think what can happen. She was in a room with him, and practically she got married to him, but it was not official that her mother got her married to that man. She started living with that man. That man used to lock her up in the morning, and when he came back from work at evening 5, she used to go out with him only. He used to lock her in the house for the entire day. Even the washroom was out of the house. So now you can think she was in practically in the jail, and that man was a kind of laborer. He used to go in the morning for work and came back, came used to come back in the evening, like around 5 or 6, and she was just confined in that room for the entire day. That man had the delusion of infidelity. He was also delusional. He was so much delusional that he would even blame her that why you are staring outside the window, you're having an affair with that man. I mean, she's locked inside the house. How can she be in affair or in love with some other man? Then she got pregnant and she gave birth to 3 kids, like 2 daughters and 1 son, and he would even accuse her of having affair with her own son. So it was delusion of infidelity. And one day, this amount of trauma, this building up of trauma, one day he even accused, now her son and her daughters are married to someone else, some people, and now he is accusing her of having affair with her son-in-law. And that day she just got burst up with emotions, and she took a knife and she just stabbed herself in the stomach. Now she is having 3 surgeries for that complicated wound. Now her wound is infected. She is having even hernia of that infection, that wound, that stabbing wound. And now she is coming to the psychiatry for the consultation of depression, apathy, loss of appetite, loss of sleep and all. So this much amount of trauma has taken the face of depression. Now she fought well, she fought this. And this is kind of the social life, the cultural thing that influences you. The teacher even asked her, why didn't you leave the marriage? She said, I have no family, no one to support me, and plus he loves me. This is his way of loving me. He didn't beat me, he didn't even sell me to someone else, so I should be glad for that. This is something we should work on as a society and as a community, that how a woman perceive something as love, because what she had for the past 40 or 30 years was just abuse and trauma, and she mistook it as love.